Katie with Dashing Dish. Today I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate zucchini cake. And this is one of my favorite recipes to make, especially in the summertime. Terry's going to help me make it today.
Yes, when you said cake, I am in it. All right.
Do you have a lot of zucchini around you that you're finding in the summer?
Oh my goodness, it's like one plant. I only do one plant, and it can have so many zucchinis, you know? I'm amazed at what one plant can do.
And people are always asking me, how can I use up my zucchini in the summertime?
Right,
But
that's
really,
right.
you can do this all year round because zucchini is available all year round. So zucchini in this recipe is kind of hidden. So if you're thinking, I don't even like zucchini, this is not for me, you really won't even know that it's in here.
Oh, my family will like that.
It tastes just like a chocolate cake, but the zucchini adds the moisture that we're looking for.
Okay, all right,
So
sounds
we're going to
great.
start by using all of the dry ingredients, adding it to the bowl here. We're going to use oat flour.
Oat flour.
And oat flour, here we have the bag.
Okay.
You can actually make at home. You just take old-fashioned oats.
All right.
So the stuff that we buy that, you know, you use for your oatmeal in the morning.
Yes.
You put it in a blender or food processor, blend it up until it reaches the consistency of a flour, and then you just have oat flour that you made yourself for about $2 to $3 for a huge batch.
Why oat flour? What's the benefit of it?
Oat flour I use in all my recipes instead of white or whole wheat flour. And the reason why is white or whole wheat flour are processed. So they take the grain and then they strip off all of the good stuff for you. And then they grind it up into flour. And with white, they actually bleach it. So they even go a step further.
Oh, and that's not good for us.
Correct. And so with oat flour, it is the whole grain that they grind up. I mean, it shows that you can make it yourself just using the oats right at home.
I know.
There's nothing added to it. There's nothing man-made or processed with it. And so it's much better for you. So we're going to do 1 cup into the bowl here.
Okay. Does it taste different than regular flour?
It tastes just like regular flour.
Okay.
And it's 1-to-1 in most recipes.
All right. That's good to know too.
So there we have 1 cup of oat flour.
All right.
And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. And this is unsweetened.
This is going to be chocolate.
It is.
Oh, this is awesome. A chocolate zucchini cake.
And so
this is great.
Unsweetened cocoa powder is absolutely good for you just as is, but you can buy organic if you prefer.
All right.
And then we have our baking powder and baking soda.
Both of those. Both. Okay, baking powder and baking soda. How much do you want to?
We'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of each.
All right.
So baking soda, I actually learned this about 2 years ago.
All right.
So baking soda makes the cakes fluffier and softer in texture.
Okay.
And then the baking powder is what causes it to rise. So that's why we add both. You want that softness, fluffiness, and then causing the cake to rise with the baking soda.
I didn't know that. That's really, so they're both very critical in baking.
Definitely. And so is measuring. So that's why you see that I'm actually measuring things out. A lot of times when I'm cooking, instead of baking, I like to just throw things in. But with baking, you really do have to measure things out.
Well, that's good. I try to do measuring too, because sometimes you just forget. You know, if you do the dump method, then you forget what you dumped.
Correct.
So.
And I am all about using very little dishes, so I do it all in one bowl here. I just do the dry first, mix it up, then add the wet. So here we have 2 cups of grated zucchini. And so with the zucchini, you don't even have to peel it. But we did today, but you don't have to.
All right. It would probably make it a little bit more colorful, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Although if you want to hide it, then that's definitely peeling might be the way to go.
Okay.
So we're adding 2 cups of zucchini. You can use a cheese grater to peel that or grate that up. And then we're going to add 2 eggs, so I'll have you crack those in there.
Okay, awesome. All right.
You can put the leftovers in the bowl there.
Okay, cool.
And what the zucchini does is it adds the moisture.
Do you want me to mix it up?
Yeah, go ahead. Instead of adding oil or butter to the cake, you're going to get a lot of moisture from the zucchini.
Okay, so you said something that I tend to put in cakes are butter. So instead of butter, the zucchini, I wonder if I could put it in other cakes.
You're adding vegetables.
Yeah.
And so what you'll see is with this recipe, we're not adding any oil or butter. The calorie content on this is amazing. Per slice, it's 90 calories per slice.
Oh my gosh.
And we're not adding any white flour, so it's gluten-free.
Oh, this is so good. You are so good.
And no dairy either, except for the eggs. If you can't have eggs. But other than that, it's pretty friendly no matter what kind of food sensitivities you may have. Here we have applesauce.
I was going to say, you're putting applesauce in. Why applesauce?
So unsweetened applesauce is a great, it's great to add to a baked good because it's swapping out, again, some of that oil or butter and giving some of that moisture.
Okay, awesome.
And then some stevia. And stevia, you'll notice that I use a lot in dashing dish, but you can use any kind of sweetener. If you like to use cane sugar, coconut sugar, any kind of sweetener you like. I like stevia because it is 0 calories. It's all natural. You can actually grow it in an,
I've seen that
as an herb.
Yeah. Now, can I ask, like, where would you find stevia? For some of us, we may have never seen it before. Where would you find it?
You can find it just in the baking aisle.
Was that a half a cup?
That was a half cup of stevia.
Okay.
And one of the important things when you're baking with stevia that you want to remember is it's usually about half the amount of sugar that you would want to use. Because it's very, very sweet. So if a recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar, you would want to reduce it to about a half cup of baking stevia.
Oh, that's good to know. I wouldn't have done that, so I'm so glad you shared that.
And you can see how good that looks.
It looks great.
Just like, a chocolate cake mixture.
Yes, it
And then
does.
the last thing I'll add is just a little bit of vanilla extract.
Okay. Awesome.
And we got a little heavy-handed with that, but that's okay. Vanilla extract is one of those things that you actually can. I mean, you don't want to add the whole bottle, but.
This looks so good. You are just so gifted with these recipes. I never, ever would have thought about putting these together, and it looks great.
Well, I'm always trying to find ways that I can hide vegetables.
Okay.
And that's really what I try and do at Dashing Dish is how can I sneak in the healthy food? Because a lot of times, I think if we see a vegetable, we think, I don't like that, I'm not going to try it. But if we can sneak it into our food, well then, you don't even know it's there. And you're getting all the benefits and the nutrition.
That's a
so
great
you can pour that into a, I sprayed this with cooking spray, just a baking dish.
Okay, all right. So I pour it in.
And then we can add a few chocolate chips on top if you like.
Oh, of course I like.
And I'll tell you, I have enjoyed you, doing these segments with me so much, and it's been such a blessing to be able to share the Dashing Dish creations on real life.
Oh, I find it awesome.
Because I just really, my whole thing is I want people to realize that eating healthy can be so enjoyable. It doesn't mean that you have to eat just a plain baked chicken breast or a salad or diet food. You can eat chocolate cake.
Yes.
And it can be good for you.
And I like the variety. It's easy to just think that healthy is just boring and bland. This is not at all.
It's true. It can be so creative and outside the box. And so here we have the finished product.
Oh my gosh.
And there's the zucchini chocolate cake.
Oh my gosh, this looks wonderful. Oh.
And we baked that 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean.
Okay. You don't even need to ice it.
Oh no, not at all.
Oh, this is to die for.
Well, I'm so glad that you enjoy it. And thank you again for joining and helping me make it today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be a part of this. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Well, thank you for having me. And if you would like to find this recipe or more just like it, you can go to dashingdish.com or ctvn.org. Have a wonderful rest of your day.